Good morning, students. I have already read and explained Lesson 1, The Pandavas Last Year in Exile. Today, I'll be discussing the question and answers of this lesson. But before I start that, I would like to summarize the story once again. The Pandavas had lost the deceitful game of dice against Prince Duryodhan, the eldest of the Kauravas. And as per the terms and condition of the game of dice, the Pandavas had to spend 13 years in exile and the last year of exile in disguise. And if they were caught during the last year, they would have to spend another 12 years in exile. 12 years passed and the forest life of Pandavas ended. They had to spend one more year somewhere without being recognized by anybody. They disguised themselves to hide their identity along with their wife Draupadi and decided to spend the last year, that is the 13th year in King Virat's kingdom, serving the king, acquiring different occupations. Yudhishthir was well versed with both the scriptures and skills of dice, rules and functioning of royal court, so he decided to serve the king in the capacity of his advisor. He assumed the name of Kanak. Bhim had a mighty build and huge body. He required a lot of food to satisfy his appetite. Therefore, Bhim decided to work in the royal kitchen as the chief cook, assuming the name of Ballav. Arjun decided to teach dance and music to Princess Uttara, daughter of King Virat, assuming the name of Brihannala. Nakul became Granthik, the caretaker and guard of the horse stable, as he was expert in training in treatment of horses. Sahadev became the in charge of cow sheds and was called Tantipa because he knew well about tending the cattle. Draupadi, the wife of Pandavas, was appointed as the chief maidservant to Queen Sudeshna. Queen Sudeshna was wife of King Virat. Draupadi was known as Sairandri. Thus, separately, without letting others know that they were related, all the Pandavas entered into the service of King Virat in the hope that the agents of Kaurav would not be able to spot them and inform Prince Duryodhan about their hideout. Thus, the 13th year was passing by with the Pandavas along with Draupadi fulfilling their duties sincerely. Towards the end of the 13th year, Duryodhan and his aides encroached upon the territory of King Virat's kingdom and stole the cattle of the king. When King Virat came to know, he sent his son Uttar Kumar, the crown prince, to fight the Kaurav army. When Arjun came to know, he requested King Virat to permit him to accompany Prince Uttar Kumar as his charioteer. The king permitted him. At the battlefield, when Uttar Kumar saw the huge, powerful army of Kauravas, he got frightened and tried to run away from the battlefield. When Arjun saw this, he revealed his true identity to Uttar Kumar and instructed Uttar Kumar to replace him and take over the chariot. As Arjun was a highly trained archer, he all alone fought with the Kaurav army and defeated them. He also brought the cattle which was stolen by Duryodhan and his aides. By this time, the 13th year of exile was over. When King Virat came to know about the Pandavas, he was surprised and happy because such great person had lived like ordinary people and worked sincerely for him as his servants. Arjun also saved his son from defeat and brought back his stolen cattle. Thus, he was extremely happy and the exile period of the Pandavas was over. Now, I'll discuss the question and answers of this chapter. Now, the first question, write the name of Pandavas. Now, the 5 Pandavas were Yudhishthir, Bhim, Arjun, Nakul and Sahadev. Second, against whom did the Pandavas lose in the game of dice? The Pandavas lost the game of dice to their cousin Prince Duryodhan, the eldest of the Kauravas. Third question, what were the terms and conditions of the game of dice that the two sets of cousins had played? Answer, as per the terms and condition of the game of dice, the one who loses will have to spend 13 years in exile and the last year of exile in disguise, but with the condition that if they were caught during this period, that is the last year, they would have to spend another 12 years in exile. Fourth, write one special quality and or skill of each of the Pandavas. Now, each Pandav had a different quality and skill. We'll start with Yudhishthir. He was well versed with the rules of royal court. Second Pandav was Bhim. He was fond of eating and was renowned for his giant appetite. That is the reason he took up the job of a cook in King Virat's kingdom. Third Pandav was Arjun. He was a highly skilled archer. That is the reason he could win the powerful and huge army of the Kauravas. Fourth Pandav was Nakul. He was an expert in the training and treatment of horses. That is the reason he was in charge of King Virat's stable. Fifth Pandav was Sahadev. He knew well about tending the cattle. That is the why he took up the job of the caretaker of cattle. Fifth question, what did Duryodhan and his aides do to trouble King Virat? Duryodhan and his aides encroached upon the territory of King Virat's kingdom and stole the cattle belonging to the king. Sixth question, what did Uttar Kumar, the crown prince, do during the battle and why? Uttar Kumar, the crown prince, got frightened on facing the huge and powerful Kaurav army and tried to flee in fear. That is the reason Arjun had to take up. Because Arjun was a skilled archer. When he saw that Uttar Kumar was frightened facing the huge army of Kauravas, Arjun had to take up. Question number 7. Who saved the day for King Virat's army and how? Arjun saved the day for King Virat's army when Uttar Kumar got frightened on facing the huge Kauravas and tried to flee in fear. At this point, Arjun gave away his true identity and instructed Uttar Kumar to take over the chariot while he fought the battle. Arjun single-handedly defeated the Kauravas' army and brought back the cattle. Now, we'll do the B part also, that is completing the table below. Now, as per the rules of the game, the Pandavas had to live in exile and in disguise in the 13th year of their exile period. So they had to acquire different names and take over different occupations to hide their identity. First Pandav Yudhishthir, his new name was Kanak and he became the king's advisor because he was well versed with the rules and functioning of the royal court. Now, second Pandav was Bhim. He took the new name of Ballav and he decided to be the cook of King Virat. The third Pandav was Arjun. He took the new name Brihannala and he became the dance and music teacher of Princess Uttara. Fourth Pandav was Nakul. He took the name of Granthik and he became the caretaker and guard to the horse stable of King Virat. The fifth Pandav was Sahadev. He was known as Tantipal and he was a caretaker of the cattle of King Virat's kingdom. Sixth was Draupadi, wife of the Pandavas. She was known as Sairandri and she became the chief maidservant to the queen. That's all for today. Now the rest parts of exercises we'll be discussing in our next video session. Thank you.